What it do? Welcome to the J-Boy Sports Podcast. Please like, share, and subscribe if you enjoy the content. If you don't love the content, you can still do those things because you could always help a brother out. And a brother would always help you out. Make sure you hit up the comment section. I'd love to have conversations and debate because ball is life. Also, you want to make sure that you hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our glorious content. Lastly, hang on towards the end of this video for some other suggested videos that we know you'll love. Michael Jordan and Kobe Bean Bryant. If you look at both of these two men in this picture, it's time for me to say something, the quiet part out loud. And you know what the quiet part out loud is? Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan are the biggest threats to LeBron James' nonsense and his narratives and his garbage. And that's why they catch a lot of garbage from other people. Every time you turn around, there's crap headed the way of Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. Recently, Kevin Durant and LeBron James decided to make fun of the fact that Michael Jordan left basketball for however long he left it. I don't even know how long that was. They thought it was funny. You know, it's harder to play, or whatever he said about playing 22 years without stopping and blah, blah, blah. Some people take breaks to play baseball. Ha 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 ha. Shut up, man. You gotta be kidding me. You know, around that same time, Michael Jordan's father was murdered. And he thought about something his father always wanted him to do, which was play baseball. So he took some time away and decided to do something else. But all the nasty people out there blame Michael Jordan's father's death on his gambling or whatever else narrative that they want to come up with. Now, I don't even know if that's true or not. I don't know. But I do know that if I had a good father and my father was murdered and I decided to leave to do something that my father always wanted me to do, and then the next thing that I heard was people trying to find a reason to make fun of me, so they decided to say, oh, it's your fault that your father was murdered, I'd be pissed. And we know Michael Jordan was pissed. He came out, he said some things. He only did interviews with people like Ahmad Rashad for a while because that was his boy. But you knew that was his boy. But that was not a secret. Mike came out, he said some stuff to the media, and he basically just, he kept it real. And the thing they don't tell you is at the end of the day, Mike handled it with class. He did say some things about the media, but he still handled it with class. You can say what you want about Michael Jordan, getting his father murdered, gambling, drinking, whatever you want to say. But at the end of the day, you know what the difference is between Michael Jordan and LeBron James and Kevin Durant? He's a real man. He's a real man because of the way he handled things. He's a real man because of the way he was coachable, the way he approached other men. The fact that when a bunch of other men are in the room, they realize who Michael Jordan is and who Kevin Durant and LeBron James are not and will never be. But yet, they're snickering and doodling and gossiping about Michael Jeffrey Jordan, who has the respect of everyone, universally, all the other GOATs. Excuse me. Allergies. And then you have Kevin Durant and LeBron James, who are two of the biggest clowns of this generation, running from team to team because they're losers and can't find a way to win consistently, so they run. Kevin Durant betrayed Russ, turned his back on him, ran over to Steph Curry. LeBron James just turned his back on everyone as much as he could and blamed everybody else for why he was losing. Most recently, me and Luka are only two people. There's 8 other people on the court. It's never that loser's fault. But yet, these two bums have the nerve to make fun of Michael Jordan. And when I say bums, obviously they're great basketball players. But compared to Mike, they might as well be bums. Speaking on people who you have no business speaking on is disgustingly dirty behavior. It's diabolical. So you're sitting up here, you're talking trash about Mike. And then, 22 years. Well, let's talk about that 22 years for LeBron James. Oh, you mean all the load managing that he's done? Taking days off? Faking injuries? Flopping all around the court like a guppy out of water? Dude looks like a Magikarp. Y'all ever play Pokemon? Remember Magikarp? One of the most useless Pokemon of all time? Oh, that's LeBron. And any given moment, he turns into a magic carp. Just starts flopping around on the floor like a fish that can't breathe. But again, 22 years of that, 22 years of team hopping, 22 years of excuses, 22 years of ruining teams, exhausting all their resources, playing a cat and mouse game. And I ask people, well, what is it that LeBron James actually did for the league? What did he do for the league? The answer? None of them can ever answer, because the answer is nothing. And if you say player empowerment, well, then I laugh in your face. We are fans. And I'm tired of fans acting like you're not fans. You're not a basketball player. You're not on the court with these guys. You're not a coach. You're not in the building. You're nowhere near it. The only thing you want as a fan is to see your favorite players play every night. Give it their best every night. Fight in the playoffs every night. Scratch, claw, sometimes get hurt. That's part of the game. Who is the gladiator? Who will win? Who will lose? Who will survive? But we don't get that because LeBron decided to create player empowerment. One of the worst things that ever happened to fans. Ever. Now you have a bunch of divas running around here thinking that they own the joint. They're the entertainers. They're supposed to entertain us. We pay for it. We pay good money for it. We support them. We respect some of these guys. But a lot of them are not even worth it. And you know why? Because of LeBron James and Kevin Durant. And really, Kevin Durant's just a follower. Following behind LeBron James doing the stuff he did. Now, I tell you, I like that he went to Golden State. Because it showed LeBron that you're not that special. I can cheat too. And I loved it, to be honest with you. It made me laugh. Because like I said in my other video, where I said Steph is actually better than LeBron, in my opinion, LeBron thought he cheated the system. He made his own little super team to beat Steph and thought it was done. Thought he had the advantage. KD said, nah, hold my beer, man. I'm going to make sure this is right. We're going to make sure you keep losing. And I love it. But somewhere along the line, Kevin Durant got too big for his britches. And now he thinks he's hot stuff. People think he's the best scorer they've ever seen. How? He didn't even make the playoffs. And the year before, he got swept out the playoffs. He ruined Phoenix's team. He ruined the New Jersey Nets. Him and, Kyrie and Harden at the time. But realistically, I don't put a lot of that blame on Kyrie. And the reason why is because he stood for something bigger than himself. Bigger than the game. Something I actually genuinely respected. Now, you could say I'm being hypocritical because, why do you respect Kyrie so much? Why don't you give that same love to Kevin Durant? But the truth is, Kevin Durant doesn't stand for anything. What does Kevin Durant stand for? So at least if you're going to sit out and not play, or they're going to kick you out, or you're not going to bend for something, let it be for a COVID shot, or because you call yourself a black Israelite, and people hate that. Apparently, there's only white Israelites. I didn't know that. Because I thought Amari Stoudemire is a black Israelite, I thought isn't he Jewish, I believe he's Jewish. He's a practicing Jewish man who happens to be black. But Kyrie can't say that. I don't want to get political on here, but I'm just saying. Kevin Durant didn't do nothing like that. He didn't stand for nothing. He did everything they told him to do so he can get his money. Because that's really all he cares about. He doesn't really care about the fans. If he cared about the fans, he wouldn't keep running from team to team. He would pick a team and stay there. And support that community. But he doesn't give a dang about that. And that's where all this stuff gets lost. Kobe Bryant is another threat to them. Why? Because Kobe Bryant didn't make excuses. For everything the media tells you that he wasn't or couldn't do, it's a lie. Kobe was that guy. Early on in his career, even playing with Shaq, you could tell that he was different. At the end of games, that's when he shined. When big plays needed to be made, that's when he shined. I'll give you a few big plays off the top of my head. Blazers. Lakers, Portland. Down 15 going into the fourth. Kobe said, nah, not on my watch. Hold my beer. Helped bring the team all the way back. Got one of the biggest plays I've ever seen in my life. A play I love to this day that still gives me chills. The great Scottie Pippen crosses him. Leaves him dead in his tracks. Gets to the basket. Right before he gets there, sees Shaq cutting baseline. Tosses it. The lob to Shaq. Game. Blouses. But they told you Kobe was a sidekick. Against the Spurs, he's averaging like 33 points a game at 20 years old, 20, 21, whatever. Leading the fourth quarter in points. And amongst all playoff performers. Literally, Jalen Rose in the finals of one of those years against the Pacers purposely injured Kobe Bryant. And his reasoning was, I just wanted to hurt him so that we could win. We couldn't stop him. So I did something else. I did something drastic. And that's how we played back then. I'm not even mad at Jalen Rose for doing it. And the funny thing is, Kobe Bryant never really even complained that much about that. Can you imagine if somebody did that to LeBron James or Kevin Durant? How butthurt they would be? I'll do you one better. Remember what happened to Kawhi Leonard against the Spurs? The Spurs had the Warriors on the ropes. I forget what year it was, but they had them. They were beating them down. Zaza Pachulia steps right under Kawhi Leonard's leg on purpose. Jacks up his ankle, never really returns. Never really played for the Spurs again after that, to be honest with you. Can you imagine? Now, Kawhi took that on the chin. He don't say much, so he didn't say much then either. Can you imagine if that happens to KD or LeBron James? How much they'd cry? And rightfully so, to be honest with you. I can understand why they'd cry about that. But Kobe didn't. Kawhi Leonard didn't. There's different animals and different beasts out here, ladies and gentlemen. The legend of Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant is a problem. Kobe dislocated his fingers and had you snap it back in place so he could finish the game. I'm going to do a video soon about this where Gary Vitti was like, yo, like, he just snapped it back in place. I didn't even get a chance to tape it up. It was a loose muscle that could easily, that could happen again. He didn't even wait for me to tape it up. He went right back in the game. We're talking about a different level of warrior here, man. Michael Jordan said, you didn't play. If you don't play that way, don't play. I never asked anybody to do anything that I wasn't willing to do myself. And the reason why you criticize it is because you've never won anything. They can't deal with stuff like that. They don't like it because they're not that animal. And they can't prove it outside of making up lies. And that's where I get annoyed. If you don't like Michael Jordan, don't like Michael Jordan. If you don't like Kobe Bryant, don't like Kobe Bryant. But the lies are sickening. Kobe was a sidekick. That's BS. All right? Excuse my language. I don't want to say BS. That's bull crap. All right? That's what that is. I don't curse. And I didn't curse there. I just used 2 syllables. But it's bull crap. BC. Let's say BC. It's bull crap. It's not true, man. It's not true. Michael Jordan left because he was afraid and he got tired, overthrown. Maybe he did get tired. But what does that matter when you win 3 in a row, leave for a second, and then win 3 more in a row? If anything, he did them a favor. Gave Hakeem Olajuwon a chance to run away with 2 of them. Maybe Hakeem would have won them with Mike there. I don't know. We'll never know. But to call Mike, to basically laughing at him, kind of calling him a coward, like he couldn't handle it, and LeBron James handled it. He didn't handle anything. He just cheated. Realized he was a loser, ran to some super teams, and still lost. He's the only person in history who's literally had 15 or more years to choose every single teammate and still walked away with 6 losses in that time. Kobe Bryant is 5-2. I don't know what happened against the Pistons. They beat us down. One of the best defenses I've ever seen. The second time, we definitely lost to a super team against the Celtics. Definitely. And I felt like we still could have won that, but Bynum and Ariza got hurt. And that just really messed that season up. It just did not go the way that we wanted it to. But we came back and we beat them. And if it wasn't for that super team, we would have won 3 more in a row. But we lost to a super team. Make sure that's known. So instead of going 6-1, we went 5-2 with Kobe Bean. Mike was 6-0, never lost. But their legends are too big. LeBron and KD, they can't live up to that. So they make excuses. They make jokes. And Kobe and Mike are the biggest threats to LeBron's lies. So they're targeted. They target Mike and Kobe. They make up lies about them. And at a certain point, especially for those of you who listen to my channel, spread this message. We've got to stop letting them do this. We've got to stop it. Every time you hear a lie, share one of my videos. Share one of the videos of somebody like Scap Attack, my boy Dreamers Pro, who really goes in on these clowns. Love Dreamers Pro. Mel from Man Down, him and his boys. Sports T, another lady that I listen to. She is a hardcore, I'm going to get in LeBron's behind type person. She goes way in. Pause, no diddy. But I respect her because somebody's got to do the dirty jobs. Somebody's got to get in there and call it like it is and stop sugarcoating and baby coating all this stuff. Ticket TV. Now, I'll say this. Ticket TV, he actually seems like he calmed down somewhat now. He used to be a little, very vulgar. And I don't want to necessarily say, oh, go listen to this and he's cussing up a storm. But, you know, when he's not cussing, he's facts. 100% facts. And I think he plays professionally as well. So he knows some professional basketball players. He knows what this is. And he calls it like he sees it. You know? He calls it like he sees it. I forgot the other guy, his name, Robin. And I forgot exactly what, he's a Jordan guy, big time Jordan guy. I don't remember what his name is, his podcast is. I'm forgetting. But another good listen. And yeah, you might listen to it and be like, oh, this guy's out of his mind. But at the end of the day, he's really saying what's true. And a lot of people don't want to say what's true. And he doesn't let it go. He doesn't let up. He stays. He keeps his foot on the gas, keeps his foot on their necks. And when I say their necks, I mean all these people lying and being LeBron and KD goblins at this point. Now, KD doesn't have a huge goblin following, but he does have some people that will protect him. But at the end of the day, they hate Mike and they hate Kobe because they'll never be Mike and they'll never be Kobe. And they could never be Mike or never be Kobe because they don't have the mental capacity to do so. What they will try to do is try to tell you something like, oh, well, Mike has a gambling problem. He's a drunk. Kobe had a grape case. He's out here cheating on his wife and blah, blah, blah. Fine, man. Maybe Mike used to drink too much. Maybe he used to gamble too much. Maybe he still gambles too much. Maybe he still drinks too much. I don't know. Kobe should not have ever been in a situation where he cheated on his wife. That's facts. However, you clowns have watched both of them for the entirety of their lives, for the most part. You can Google it. After Kobe made that mistake, he went on a straight and narrow. He told Carmelo Anthony, don't leave your family. They said that that's something he said to Melo. Melo said that. Now, Melo ultimately ended up divorcing Lala anyway. But Kobe tried. He told him, you don't want to lose your family. And as far as we know, after that case, Kobe Bryant was a model citizen. And Vanessa has never said anything bad about him publicly and has always been there to support him, as well as his girls. And if she could forgive him, and if his girls could love him for who he really was, why are you sitting on something that happened in the past? What was Kobe? What was Mike? What is Mike? I'll tell you what Mike is first. He's hard-nosed. He doesn't play that crap. He's not on social media. He's not trying to be everybody's friend. But he does donate to different things, and you'll never know that he even donated. He does care about people in his own way. But what he also does is he admires his privacy. He knows that people could use his autographs for different types of things, so he doesn't give a lot of them. He wants to be left alone. He wants to be to himself. I don't know what his twin daughters look like at this point. I've never seen a picture of them past when they were like 5 or 6. But he's definitely still married to his second wife. Never hear anything from her. Never hear anything from those girls. Okay, he has some problems with his son here and there. But that's his son's stuff. You don't hear about his daughter having any issues. You don't really hear about the other son having any issues. He's living his life. But what he did teach you was perseverance, toughness, fight through everything. Be a man. When they call you out, when they say something about you, you step in front of that podium and you tell them straight up with your chest, not passive aggressively, what it's going to be, what it is. This is how it's going to go from here on out. Man up. Mike did that. Mike didn't back down. Mike didn't run from team to team. And when you hear him talk, you know that's a man talking that knows what he's talking about. When you heard Kobe talk, he broke things down, explained it very calmly, made it make perfect sense. He didn't run from anything. When ESPN ranked him 40th, he said, I've been known for a long time, they're a bunch of idiots. There was no passive-aggressive pointing fingers. There's no social media post about it. No, he said what he said with his chest, and he let it be, and dared you to say something against it with his chest. He was a great father, great husband. Again, taught you hard work, responsibility, being accountable to the media, being able to explain yourself, explaining your thoughts and why you went through this, why you went through that, how you were seeing certain things as they were happening. There's a thought process there. There's a man there. How he respected, him and Mike respected their coaches. They respected some teammates, but the teammates that worked hard. If you didn't work hard, they didn't want you. And that's just the facts of it. But they were manly. Mike still is. Kobe was. LeBron James and Kevin Durant don't move like men. They're passive aggressive, constantly complaining. They want to tell you stuff like, oh, it's different times. If it's different times, shut your mouth. Don't ever talk about Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant and put your name anywhere near them if it's different times. There was no different times when they played. You either gave it 100% or you didn't give it at all. We don't want to hear what you guys have to say. And again, I have a video that says Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant fans can't be fans of some of these guys playing right now. They can't. You can't be. Specifically, LeBron James and Kevin Durant. Because they don't stand for anything. They stand for cheap victories. Cheating the system. Not being held accountable. Kevin Durant wants to be a great basketball player, but not a leader. What the heck is that, man? Just because they have money, y'all better not let them off the hook. Specifically, Kevin Durant in this case. Dude wants to be a great basketball player, but doesn't want to be a leader. Whoever said that in the history of the game? I don't want to lead my team to victory. I don't want to be the leader of my team. I just want to play basketball. What kind of cowardly statement is that? And then people still want to kiss his butt and talk about how great he is. I will never do that. He will never have my full support talking like that. When did you ever see Kobe Bryant or Michael Jordan say, I just want to score and not play defense? I just want to score and not lead my team. It's not my fault when we lose. What is that, man? What is that? LeBron James, ring culture doesn't matter. But you ran from super team to super team trying to chase something Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant had. But now ring culture doesn't matter. If you had 97 rings, I bet you it would. You gotta, and again, if it wasn't for Michael Jordan and it wasn't for Kobe Bryant, and I'll even throw in Shaq, Tim Duncan, maybe not as much Shaq because he kind of ran around at the end, but Tim Duncan, Magic, Kareem, Bird. If it wasn't for some of these guys, then yeah, LeBron and KD might be the standard. But in my opinion, it would still be Steph over them. The only person that decided to stay home and fight every day of his life for where he was at. But that's it, man. Mike and Kobe present a huge threat to LeBron and his lies. By extension, people like KD as well. They want to soften you up so that you will accept bullcrap. Don't let them soften you up. The more they say stupid things that are soft, the harder you should become. Pause. No bad boy. No Diddy. No take that. See it with your own eyes. Start to sniff it out. See it before it happens. Be proactive. When they say little tidbits and things like that, Jeff Teague, Kobe didn't play defense. Meanwhile, you're running from Kyrie Irving. Your stories are funny, Teague, but they're stories of cowardice. You ran from Kyrie Irving. You ran from Derrick Rose. Kobe hiked his shorts up, guarded Kyrie one-on-one, and blocked his shot. Made Dwayne Wade turn it over, full court press. Blocked LeBron James twice, back to back. Blocked Michael Jordan, the great one himself. Countless plays, but yet you have the nerve to fix your mouth to say Kobe Bryant wasn't a great defender, like you were something special on defense or on any part of the court. You were more special than me. That's not saying a lot. But I know the game. I know what I saw when I saw it. I wish Kobe Bryant would have seen you as a threat and gave you that same Kyrie energy. You would have walked away with 0 points and a freaking headache. Be quiet, man. But he's another LeBron goblin, probably under Clutch Sports. They all are. So just don't fall for this crap, man. That's all I'm telling you guys. These two are a threat. Mike and Kobe are threats. So they're going to do everything they can to demolish them. But you need to do everything you can to tell them to kick rocks and fly a kite. My new thing is, you know what I tell people when they say stupid stuff to me when it comes to Kobe and Mike? And I'm not even a Mike guy like that. I'm not. But I recognize the greatness. And I don't like the disrespect or the lies. Why don't you jump off a bridge? Not one that's too high. I don't want you to die. Why don't you jump off a bridge head first so you can bump your head just good enough to knock you back into the reality of when maybe you fell as a baby or something that made you start thinking like this in the first place. It worked in movies. Maybe it will save you from being stupid. With that said, thank you very much for listening. Please like, share, and subscribe if you enjoy the content. Make sure that you comment. Are Mike and Kobe the biggest threats to LeBron's lives? And is that why they are targeted? Let me know. Ball is life. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our fantastical content. Hang on towards the end of this video to make sure that you catch some of our suggested videos that we know you will love. Thank you very much. I'm very appreciative. I'm very humble. Much love. That somehow you never get over.